Kanye West's Twitter and Instagram accounts have been locked over what many are calling anti-Semitic posts. The rapper, now known as Ye, offended many Twitter users on Saturday after he threatened the Jewish community in a late-night tweet. Twitter removed the post, saying it violated company rules, but people are now pushing to have the outspoken and unfiltered rapper banned from the platform. On Friday, Instagram locked Ye out of his account for making a similar post.
So welcome back, y'all. It is the Drunk Capitalist here, and as you can see, Kanye has been banned from Twitter, Instagram, and now JP Morgan Chase. You see, when the bankers start saying your money's not green no more, you should know that you are in trouble, okay? So after this tweet in question, I'll read it out for you guys now. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda. So after this, JP Morgan decided to send Ye a short letter, and I'll show it to you now, that says, hey, we're no longer working with you anymore. We don't want your money. Your money's no good here. You see, we ain't never really seen that for a very, very long time. That's what's crazy. We are sending this letter to confirm our recent discussion with blank that JP Morgan Chase Bank has decided to end its banking relationship with Yeezy LLC and its affiliated entities. To provide the company with sufficient time to transition another financial institution, we will continue to maintain the accounts, including all related products and services, until November 21st. So, they said, you can't stay here. You got a couple days to get out of here. We're done with you. Relationship over. Finito. Now, let's look back at that tweet one more time and really see what it's about. So, because if I'm being completely honest, I had no idea what this man was talking about. Never even heard of DEFCON 3. And a lot of people have surmised that he meant to say DEFCON 3. But again, remember, Ye himself said he doesn't read. So why would we think that he knows what these things mean? He may have a verbal understanding, but he definitely doesn't have a learned understanding. He has never probably seen the words DEFCON 3. So I decided to look it up. The meaning of DEFCON: any one of the 5 levels of U.S. military defense readiness that are ranked from 5 to 1, according to the perceived threat to national security, with 1 indicating the highest level of perceived threat. So essentially, he's saying, I guess, that he feels threatened by Jewish people, and so he is getting into defense readiness, and he's on level 3. For more added context, turns out the United States is actually on DEFCON threat level 3 as well. So, whatever that means. Just thought I'll add it. But basically, they're saying that the term could also be used figuratively. I'm not going to say whether or not Kanye meant it figuratively or literally, because I have no idea what this man is talking about. And I also don't understand why he decided to say anything like in the first place. So now let's go into his response after finding out that JP Morgan Chase has decided to cut ties with him.
To say, hey, call somebody out on bad business, that means you're being anti-Semitic. So I feel happy to have crossed the line of that idea so we can speak openly about, doing things like getting canceled from the bank. A lot of this stuff for me is the richest black man in American history that put $140 million in JP Morgan and never even had a chance to not even get deals. We'll speak at a different time.
So as you can see that he's talking about putting $140 million into Chase. And you see the problem with Kanye and Chase has been going on for a couple weeks now. He mentioned a few weeks ago that he put $140 million into JP Morgan Chase, but he couldn't get a call from CEO Jamie Dimon. So Ye just feels like he has bad blood with JP Morgan, that he feels disrespected by the fact that they didn't sit down for him or get him on a phone call like he wanted to talk to Jamie Dimon. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But these are millionaire and billionaires. Maybe they have a more reasonable way of why they do certain things, why they want to talk to certain people. But then again, if an institution has millions, hundreds of millions of your dollars and it's going in and out, you probably want some level of relationship with the people there. But do you deserve to have a relationship with the board? I have no clue. Some people said I'm absolutely loving Kanye going in on JP Morgan this weekend. So here's my thing, and why I feel like this whole thing affects you possibly is because if we're getting to the point of cancel culture where it now affects your money, that puts people in a space where they're going to be more fearful of speaking their mind, speaking their truth. Yes, we can blanket it of, oh yeah, we're protecting people's feelings or we're protecting groups' feelings. Fine, if that's what you feel like that is, but you have to understand that that's kind of a double-edged sword in certain circumstances. If you're not allowed to speak on something, and if you do speak on something, no matter how it is that you're speaking on it, it could be labeled as offensive and you could be canceled for it. Therefore, you're less likely to speak up on things, right? Now, if you were to speak up on things, if the consequence is they freeze your money, that's going to be a huge issue. And we're talking about, this is a millionaire, a billionaire, really. This is a billionaire, and this billionaire is being technically silenced over comments that he made. I'm not saying that the things that he said are right or correct in any sort of faction, but how do we really know what is right or correct? People were canceled and their pages taken down over things regarding the virus, right? But if it was a situation where if you said something outside of what the government said is okay for you to say, then you lose all your money. That puts people in a place where your free speech doesn't exist anymore. Like, your free speech is dead. That's dead. Like, we have to understand that that's really what it is at that point. Because I'm not saying that there shouldn't be consequences for things that you say, but at the same time, how that affects us regular people is we're going to be less likely to want to say anything or have discussions or have community and talk about things and say how we feel or learn from each other. It's going to cause even more seclusion and, disclusion in the name of inclusivity. It's going to be extremely weird. And I say all that to say because, look at PayPal. Just last week, PayPal announced that they were finding users $2,500 for misinformation, and then they quickly backtracked on all of that. PayPal received backlash from customers on social media over the weekend after a new policy in the company's fine print said that it would charge users a hefty fine of $2,500 for misinformation beginning November 3rd. PayPal quickly apologized, stating this policy was sent in error. How do you send a policy like this in error? Who wrote it? Who signed off on it? And who let it through? That doesn't make sense to me. The PayPal acceptable use policy was updated to include penalizing the sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that promote misinformation or present a risk to user safety or well-being. But who gets to define these things other than the users themselves, or is it the companies? Those found in violation of the terms would have a $2,500 fine taken directly from their PayPal accounts. You see, as soon as this went viral, the internet kind of exploded. Everybody was like, how do we get rid of PayPal? Because this is crazy. Who wants to get $2,500? We don't want that. And if it was something that the government decided to do, like how they be moving in China with the social credit system, we're going to lose our minds and we're definitely going to be quiet. That means institutions can basically do anything they want to us, but we can't say anything about it. And that's it. That's going to be the deal. And I think that for Kanye, I feel like him saying what he said was completely unnecessary because we know what it is. We already know this. It goes without saying. So for him, he might feel like he's doing something new. He might take the Jesus thing very, very seriously and feel like he's dying on the cross to prove a point. But the point doesn't need to be proven. We know what it is. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. We know what it is. You didn't need to do that for us to know what it is. We know what it is. A spade is a spade. We don't have to talk about it. Some things is better left unsaid because they're already true. Like, we don't have to keep trying to reiterate the already truth. And now you're putting yourself in a position now with your business, with Adidas cutting ties with you. You know, obviously you cut ties with Nike technically. Gap cut ties with you within 24 hours. As soon as you said you wanted out, they said fine. We don't care. Everyone's cutting ties with you, and now it's coming down to your money now, which we know you care about. Everyone's cutting ties with you, and now you're going to be forced to go over to Wyoming and build your little cult that you're going to build over in Wyoming with your little tent houses and your factories, building your clothes and all that stuff, because that's what you actually want to do. I wish you would just go do that rather than trying to play the whole social political system and do all the different things, because it's completely unnecessary. You don't have to do that. There are people within our communities that are working on these things. You don't have to do it. It's just not necessary, because you're putting too much attention on yourself and what we are trying to get done around these parts. Like, just go sit down somewhere, and I want to see how your business does with you actually doing everything yourself. Obviously, you have to move that money. I would say move it on over to Greenwood Bank, but you did do that White Lives Matter shirt, and the black community is mad at you about it. Personally, I'm not mad. I don't care. But you're putting yourself in a weird position with the whole thing. This is like slowing your money up. And I feel like this affects other people, because it's going to basically teach other people that you just can't say whatever you want to say. Yeah, things hurt. Words hurt. But I think when it comes to saying certain things, yes, we know some people should already know things. You should have some type of discussion. And I feel like right now the slope is not even slippery no more. Like, it's not even slippery. You're going down. Like, it's downhill from here when it comes to freedom of speech. Like, there's probably not going to be much of it. I don't know if you guys ever read the book 1984, but I recently picked it back up, and it looks even more similar to what we are experiencing now than ever. So that's all I wanted to say for today, you guys. It's a Drunk Capitalist here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.